First off, again guys, go to my Classy Herps page. It's in the description below to a link of it. Subscribe to it. The 100th and 200th subscriber get a shout out. When I hit 200 subscribers on Classy Herps, I'm going to stop uploading videos to the rephibiankid account, only to Classy Herps. So guys, please go subscribe there because it's kind of annoying uploading videos to both channels. So please, subscribe down below. Okay, and remember before I start this that these are just some tips that I find useful. They in no way mean that you have to do this, so just keep that in mind. Alright, now to start off with snakes, this is something that I thought was kind of stupid when I first started, but I found out from experience that it does really help. Now when you get your first snake as a baby, probably, most people get them as just little hatchlings, just born, just a few weeks old probably, so they're pretty small. Alright, now you don't want to go and start throwing them in a giant tub like this that goes all the way to the back, a 41 quart, that they'll live in as adults. Just don't do that, because with all that space, snakes don't like a lot of space. They will go to the smallest space they can find and crunch themselves up in it. And a lot of people, that's why they don't like tubs, because there's not much space. You put a giant full-grown reticulated python in a room this size, or whatever room, if you put it in a gym, it would go, and it would go into the corner, or if there was something in there, it would go into that, and it would hide in the smallest space it could possibly find. If they don't like all the open space, it makes them feel insecure because, you know, they don't have any arms or anything, they don't have much to defend themselves, so they go and hide, alright, and they get themselves into a position where they can defend themselves, so they go into small spots. So snakes like small spaces, so no need for all the extra space. Now when they're born, ball pythons I mean by this, you can start them off in 6-quart tubs like this. Alright, 6-quart tubs. Alright, now from when they're born, you're going to keep them in a 6-quart tub, I'd say until like they're 200 grams or so. They get 200 grams, move them up to a size like this, 12-quart size. See, this is what they're in for the first few months of their lives. They hit 200 grams pretty quickly. This is a snake that's about perfect sized for this tub here. Alright, and then when they get a little bigger, about 500 grams, I move them into a tub this size. So I think it's a 32 quart. And see this snake in here, this is about perfect size for this tub. So you don't want to cram a big snake like this in a tub like that or that, but still equal ratio of snake size to tub size, and you want to keep that at about their whole life. Alright, and then when they hit about 1,000 grams, I would say, maybe 900 or so, then you're going to move them up into a tub, their full-grown tub, like this size. And you can let them wait till they're bigger to do that, but this girl here is 1,000 grams, and I just moved her up. This is an adult size. They'll stay in this their whole life. Females are probably the only ones that definitely need to get in a 41 quart. Males can spend their whole life probably in a 32 quart like this one. But females will definitely need to get big 41 quart tub like this. And this is what they'll spend their whole life in. You don't really ever see a ball python outgrow this tub. If you just noticed that I took her out, and because she has all this extra space anyway, she went right into that little hide there to prove a point. So someone asked me, how can I keep mold down from growing in my tubs and tanks? And that's a good question, and the answer is just keep cleaning it regularly. I clean all my cages once a week. What I do each week is I take out the water bowl, empty out all the water, I rub it out with paper towel, and then all this bedding here, just move it around, just mix it up, move it around, you know, all the way to the back. And yeah, just mess it all up, because when it's damp like this and it's warm, obviously mold is going to grow, and that's just a way to avoid it. Just keep messing it up. Next tip, this one goes out to all the frog fans out there, and anyone who has frogs knows what they have to eat, and that's fruit flies, or hopefully wingless fruit flies. Now, what's the best way to make these? What I've found the best way to do it is to keep them at a higher temperature than probably what your room temperature is, and so you kind of need to incubate them in some way. I just put together this plastic tub with a heat mat, 2 heat mats on the bottom. I keep all my cultures in here. They do well at about 70-80 degrees. Alright, so if you have turtles, like Roberta here, our red-eared slider, you probably know turtles are really, really nasty, messy animals. And see, we have 3 filters on this tank. Originally, it did not even keep it clean. It got really cloudy within a week. and I did not know what to do. I just wanted the water to be clear, and I couldn't fix it. And so what I finally ended up doing was every morning when she gets fed, take her out and put her in a separate feeding tub like this right here, with just enough water that the pellets can float around. And so just take your turtle out, feed them in there, because stuff comes out of their mouth. They're really messy eaters, and that will definitely help clear up your water, because what I found Roberta does is she bites down the middle of the pellet, and then the two outer parts of the pellet just kind of float off onto the bottom, and that is what makes it nasty. And so clean that out once a week or so, and your water will be really clear. Okay, I also have some tips out here in the rat shed, some things that I wish I would have done when I started. I wish someone would have told me, but here I am telling you guys today. So what you want to do for your rats, your breeding tubs, should be the big Home Depot concrete mixing tubs, the large ones, like these here. Okay, this is the breeding tub, and then down here also another breeding tub. Now those are the only two breeding tubs that I have. All the others are for pregnant females and babies and stuff. I found that moms don't need this much space. I try to keep 3 moms in a tub together when they have their babies, like these here. And they don't need a full large concrete mixing tub for space. They just don't. They don't want that much space. They like it tight, just kind of like snakes I was talking about. They don't want all this open space. They need to easily be able to protect their babies, and they can do that with a small space. So, instead of getting the large tubs, Home Depot, I'm sure Lowe's does too, but they also offer a small size. I built one rack here that I plan to use for mice, but it's really nice for rats as also. Here's a small tub. Here's a mom, pregnant mom, and a mom with her babies. But these are the small tubs. I can keep also 3 rats in a small tub. They will be nice and happy in this because it's a nice small space. Now if things were optimal, you could buy rodent breeding shelves that have like tiny individual mom tubs, and that's what they would love the best. But they don't like all the open space, that is for sure. So when you're thinking about building a rack, only build your rack with the large tubs to how many breeding tubs you actually want. You don't need the large tubs for moms, because they can have the small ones. Another tip for good breeding here is when you're thinking about getting your males, make sure you get some good males, because it is fun to breed rodents because of how fast they breed, and you get to go through your genetics, and it's just a lot of fun doing it. So get some nice males, because you only need a few males for tons of females. So pick out some nice males. And another thing to do when you're gonna go with these big tubs here, you can definitely raise up 2 or 3 males that were born together, or at least close, about the same time, and raise them up together. Don't ever separate them for a long amount of time, and then they will stay social together and they won't fight. The day that you move out a male on his own is when he starts to get aggressive towards other males, and they will kill another male over territory. And females, if he gets the chance, like this male back here I have is a lone male. They definitely breed better if there's 2 or 3 in the tub, because one of them might get tired, might get sick, whatever. They definitely breed better if there's more. So another tip I've talked about before is this isn't as much of a problem with these small tubs over here because of how shallow they are, but I had to go with the large tubs because I felt that was necessary. I regret that though. But when the babies are getting old enough to start eating solid food on their own, and they know when to do that, then they can't really reach that top food where the adults eat out of, and that's a problem because babies this big can't be drinking mom's milk when there's that many. They will suck the mom dry, and they will kill the mom. So what to do? Make one of these feeders out of 1/2-inch wire, just roll up in a ball, tuck in the ends, and put food inside. So when they're ready to start eating, they can just start eating because the food's there. And that takes a lot of pressure off mom, and it really speeds up the whole weaning process. Okay, so for this week's Pup of the Week, I just wanted to show you newborn babies. This is a baby rat, the big one here, and this is a newborn mouse on the right here. These are born at the exact same time, and they're not even a day old right now. You just see how much of a size difference there already is. I just thought that was really cool. I wanted to share that with you guys. One more thing, this is my new Tegu Aussies cage who will be here in like June or July. But I wanted to say that heat mats are no good for any tank that has more than an inch or an inch and a half of substrate. A standard heat mat cannot heat through that. So how you want to heat it is one of those heat bulbs and give them a basking spot.
It's time for the weekly comment contest.